Ladies and gentlemen, life is full of challenges, business is full of challenges, people are full of challenges, but let me ask you this. Will staring at a closed door ever open it? No. The world doesn't reward those who complain about problems. It rewards those who build the door and step through it. Most people freeze the moment they face difficulty. They talk, they complain, they wait. But the successful ones, they move, they think, they act, they don't obsess over what went wrong. They focus on how to make it right. Here's something important. Every problem you face is an opportunity wearing the wrong outfit. It's messy, uncomfortable, but if you have eyes to see it, you'll realize it's a lesson, a chance, a step forward. When others say it's impossible, solution-minded people say, let's break it down. When others panic, they pause and plan. And when the world sees chaos, they see clarity. That's how success is built, not by avoiding problems, but by mastering the art of solving them. Don't waste energy repeating what's wrong. Use it to discover what could go right. You want to change your life? Change how you respond to obstacles. Become the person who walks into a storm and says, I'll figure this out. In this world, you're remembered not for the problems you faced, but for the solutions you created. In life, there's one guarantee: problems will come. They don't knock politely, and they certainly don't wait for the perfect time. In business, relationships, health, or personal goals, problems are unavoidable. But while problems happen automatically, your reaction to them is not. You can't always control what happens to you, but you can always choose your next step. That choice separates people who stay stuck from those who move forward. Think about it. Every successful person you admire did not succeed because life was easy. They succeeded because when problems appeared, they decided not to complain, not to blame, not to quit, but to find a solution. That makes the difference. A problem is a signal showing where something isn't working. Too many people spend all their time describing the problem in detail. They'll say, the market is slow, my team doesn't listen, there's no support, I don't have resources. They become experts in their problems instead of experts in solving them. Real power begins when you shift your focus from the problem to the possibilities around it. Let's say you're building a startup and you suddenly lose a major client. That's a problem. You can drown in frustration or ask, what can I learn? What needs fixing? How do we grow stronger from this? One mindset leads to depression. The other leads to reinvention. One keeps you in the past. The other moves you to the future. Problems don't respect titles, experience, or intelligence. They appear for everyone. The key is how you respond. Emotionally driven people react. Solution-driven people reflect. When you understand this, your mindset changes. You stop wasting time blaming and start investing time in the next move. In business, if a product fails, it's feedback, not the end. If customers stop buying, listen, adapt, rebuild, come back stronger. The most innovative ideas often come from failure. When something doesn't work, it exposes an area waiting for transformation. That's where opportunity lies. Some say, but I didn't create this problem. True, but here's the reality. Even if it's not your fault, it's still your responsibility. When you take ownership, you regain power. You control the narrative. Your energy isn't wasted feeling stuck. It's used to create momentum. Every solution starts with the decision to stop looking backward and start thinking forward. That doesn't mean you'll have the answer immediately. It means you're committed to finding one. You may not know the how yet, but the willingness to search is already half the solution. When your mind believes there's a way, it starts finding it. That's how entrepreneurs build empires. Ordinary people overcome extraordinary obstacles. It's not magic, it's mindset. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when problems define you, But problems don't define people. People define problems. When you own your situation, you give yourself authority to change it. Life becomes a series of choices. Give up or grow, fear or faith, problem-focused or solution-driven. The problem will always exist. The question is, will you fix it or let it corner you? Your mind is powerful. Whatever you focus on grows. Whatever you ignore fades. In every situation, where you place your attention directs your energy. This isn't philosophy, it's reality. Fixating on problems consumes energy with stress, fear, negativity. Focusing on answers, possibilities, or alternatives converts energy into action, creativity, momentum. Most people don't realize focus is currency. You spend it daily on worries, tasks, thoughts, people. Unlike money, once attention is spent, you can't reclaim it. That's why intentional focus matters. Where your attention goes, your emotions, decisions, habits, and life follow. Constantly thinking about what's wrong leaves you exhausted before action. Obsessing over failure drains courage. On the other hand, focusing on improvement, growth, and next steps sparks purpose, direction, energy. That alignment is momentum. Consider athletes. If they fixate on pain, their mind shuts down. But when they focus on the finish line, energy rises, even when tired. Business works the same. Relationships work the same. Life works the same. Wherever attention points, strength rises or falls. In leadership, this is critical. If a leader highlights problems, team morale drops. If they focus on progress and solutions, the team gains hope, confidence, ownership. Energy shifts with attention. Innovation doesn't come from limitations. It comes from possibilities. A challenge makes an average mind see a wall. A focused mind sees a door. The difference is focus. Concentrate on what could be, and energy creates momentum. In daily life, focus on negativity and you feel stuck. Focus on gratitude and feel abundance. Focus on distractions and feel scattered. Focus on priorities and feel clarity. Outcomes in work, relationships, and health depend on attention. The world is full of noise, news, opinions, problems, temptations, distractions. If you're not deliberate, someone else controls your focus, often against your best interest. Controlling focus is key to mastering energy. Where attention goes, emotions, decisions, habits, and life follow. It's not ignoring reality, it's choosing not to feed problems with energy. Acknowledge problems but feed solutions. Notice failure but feed lessons. See obstacles but feed opportunities. Life moves toward dominant thoughts, shaped by daily attention. Every problem isn't an interruption, it's a message. It points to something ignored, neglected, underestimated. Problems don't ruin your journey. They reveal areas for growth. They aren't enemies of success. They are guides to it. When things break, plans fail, or resistance appears, weak spots show. These moments are uncomfortable, but carry more transformation potential than comfort. What you find in a problem is raw material for strength. Some of the greatest innovations came from frustration and failure. Products failed, processes broke, customers complained. Instead of avoiding, someone noticed. The problem wasn't an end, but a doorway. It pointed to what needed improvement, what could become better, stronger, more efficient. Losing customers shows what the market values. Failing an exam shows where to study. Missing deadlines shows where communication failed. Setbacks are spotlights, revealing areas where growth is possible and necessary. That's potential. Personal and professional breakthroughs often follow big problems because pressure forces responses. You can ignore or explore it. Exploring brings insight, which leads to innovation and advantage. None of that happens if you see problems as enemies instead of teachers. Many view problems as a stop sign. Maybe it's not for me. Maybe I'm not enough. Often it's the opposite. The problem tests the next version of you. It activates skills not used yet. It forces potential into motion. Like fire to metal, heat reveals strength and weakness. In a fast world, success goes to those who see problems early and respond creatively. Each challenge shows where to focus time, energy, and resources. They understand that problems are not obstacles but signals. Each one points toward an improved version of a system, a product, a plan, or even a person. In leadership, problems reveal where the structure is weak or where the vision is unclear. For a team, they show where communication fails or accountability is missing. In personal life, they expose habits, mindsets, or relationships that no longer align with your goals. You don't need to fear these insights. You only need the courage to face them and use them as guidance. When you start viewing problems this way, they no longer intimidate you. They challenge you and call you to rise. Problems remove illusions. They strip away the notion that everything is okay when it's not. In doing so, they open the path for growth, progress, and new understanding that would not have arrived otherwise. Momentum doesn't come from movement alone. It comes from belief, the inner engine that drives every external step. That engine is mindset. Before anything changes outside, it must shift within. How you think about challenges, your goals, your worth, your path, all of it determines the speed and direction of progress. Mindset isn't just important. It is the foundation of momentum. A strong mindset can turn a slow start into unstoppable progress. A weak mindset, however, can turn even the best resources into wasted potential. Many people believe momentum begins with action, but it starts with perspective. How you view a situation decides whether you approach it with fear or fuel, whether you shrink back or lean in, whether you keep moving when it's hard or give up when it's inconvenient. Consider the difference between someone who sees a setback as failure and someone who sees it as feedback. The setback is the same, but the response is entirely different. The first person stops. The second person learns, adapts, and moves forward. That is momentum fueled not by conditions, but by convictions, not by perfect circumstances, but by a mindset that says, I keep moving no matter what. Your mindset is the lens through which you interpret everything. If you believe you are capable, you see opportunities where others see obstacles. If you believe growth is possible, challenges become chances to expand. If you believe effort brings change, you don't stay stuck long. The mind becomes the lens through which momentum is built or blocked. Momentum needs consistency, and consistency is hard without the right mental framework. A motivated mindset doesn't mean you feel good all the time. It means you remain disciplined even when you don't. It is what pushes you to show up on difficult days and continue when nobody applauds. It is the voice inside that says, keep going, even when results haven't appeared. Sustainable momentum isn't lost due to lack of talent or resources. Often it disappears because belief runs out. Fear, doubt, or discouragement slows the inner engine, which then affects the external world. People stop trying new ideas, stop pushing boundaries, and stop showing up fully. External progress stalls because internal energy gave up first. But when you train your mind to see problems as puzzles, failure as feedback, and rejection as redirection, your internal energy stays alive. When your inner energy remains high, it propels action, creating progress. That progress reinforces belief. This cycle drives momentum, starting in the mind. Mindset also shapes how you handle time. A growth mindset appreciates the compound effect of small actions over time. It doesn't demand instant results. It trusts the process. Strong-minded people know momentum is built through many unseen small steps. Showing up consistently, even without applause, eventually leads to massive acceleration. In business, a solution-focused mindset pushes teams forward, even in uncertain markets. In leadership, a visionary mindset keeps organizations steady through change or turbulence. In personal growth, a resilient mindset keeps you moving through loss, failure, or transition. Momentum isn't determined solely by the situation, it is shaped by the state of mind navigating it. Tools, knowledge, and strategies alone are useless without a mindset aligned with action. They sit idle while you overthink. When your mindset is ready for growth, risk, and resilience, those same tools become instruments of progress. They drive action, action drives results, and results build momentum. Leadership is tested not when everything goes smoothly, but when chaos hits, crises emerge, and plans collapse. True leadership shows in storms. Anyone can manage calm waters, but great leaders rise amid disruption. They don't freeze, they fix. The difference between a title holder and a true leader is how they respond when things fall apart. In uncertainty, average leaders wait, panic, or hope situations resolve themselves. Great leaders take responsibility. They act quickly, ask the right questions, and find solutions. Freezing is a natural response to fear, but in leadership, it spreads confusion and delays progress. When the leader stops, the team stops. Momentum dies, trust falters, and people question direction. Great leaders override the freeze instinct and shift into problem-solving mode. Fixing doesn't mean knowing all answers. It means seeking them, stepping forward when no one else does, and saying, "We don't have the perfect path yet, but we'll find it together." Confidence and calm during challenges create security and trust. Leaders fix by focusing on solutions, not blame. Missed targets, failed launches, or PR crises are analyzed for lessons. Problems are foundations, not barriers. Setbacks like competitors releasing better products, key employees leaving, or deals falling through are tests, not failures. Great leaders remain grounded, gather information, listen to feedback, adjust plans, reallocate resources, and move forward. Fixing also protects people. Tension rises, emotions run high, and teams can panic or turn on each other. Leaders intervene to stabilize, redirect focus, remind teams of the mission, and make hard decisions with long-term vision. Leadership isn't about being liked now, it's about doing what's right for the future. In startups, the founder sets the pace. Hesitation slows the team. Composed, creative responses create contagious energy. People shift to solution-focused thinking and see obstacles as opportunities. This culture starts with the top leader's mindset. Personal leadership follows the same principle. Freezing gets you stuck. Fixing moves you forward. Fear cannot lead. Clarity, courage, and growth lead. Fixing over freezing signals that progress is possible even when paths aren't clear. Control isn't over situations, but responses. That response shapes the future. Focusing on solutions over problems is not just a mindset, it is a success strategy for life, business, and leadership. Problems are constant, impacting everyone regardless of status or intelligence. Winners are defined by how they respond. Instead of drowning in negativity or blaming circumstances, solution-focused individuals act with purpose. They shift energy from what went wrong to what can be done next. That creates clarity, confidence, and momentum. Every challenge exposes weaknesses but also points to growth potential. Attention to solutions empowers creative thinking, decisive action, and effective leadership, even under pressure. Mindset transforms setbacks into comebacks and failure into fuel. It teaches adaptation, improvement, and forward movement no matter what. Success does not come from avoiding problems. It comes from facing them with vision, courage, and consistency. When you train your mind to ask, "How can I fix this?" instead of "Why me?" you regain control. Focus becomes power, and solutions become legacy.